Warning, incoming game over. Warning, incoming game over.
Whew. Hello, Winnipeg Jets fans. Welcome to Game Over Winnipeg's post-game show from tonight's game between the Winnipeg Jets and the Washington Capitals. That was a pretty back and forth, pretty special game tonight that ended 5-4 in overtime to the Jets. My name is Ty Dilello, and I am the host here at Game Over Winnipeg. And I'm still sick. I've been sick now 4 days. I've barely gotten out of bed. I probably don't look the best right now. And yeah, just head's been off, sore throat every time I try to swallow, just dizziness. Has not been fun over here. But we're gonna try to tough out another show as we did on Thursday night. As I did, being in bed, I did watch the Jets game in its entirety, and it was a very entertaining game, no doubt. Jets and Capitals, the two top teams in the league so far this season, and the standings going toe to toe for the first time, and it definitely lived up to the billing. There's a lot of things to like from both sides, and some things probably not to like from both sides tonight. So before I go any further, title sponsor Hyperdrive Hockey. Gotta give them the shout outs. Check out the flagship show of Game Over Network on the Game Over Network YouTube channel. Hyperdrive Hockey, which is all things hockey across various leagues in multiple countries. Whatever it is and wherever it is, Max, Daphne, and Kev have you covered for all of your hockey news with a steady dose of fun and fan engagement. So you can find Hyperdrive Hockey on the Game Over Network YouTube channel or wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts, or on the Hyperdrive Hockey page at thegameovernetwork.com. So tonight's game, I'll just go through the scoring quickly. Cole Perfetti opened scoring on the power play, making 1-0. Dylan Sandberg scored a few minutes later, 2-0 Jets. After one, Pierre-Luc Dubois got one back for Washington against his old team early in the second period, and then just a few minutes after that, Alex Iafallo scored to make it 3-1. And then just like less than a minute after that, Washington got one back. And it stayed no more goals for the rest of the period, so 3-2 Jets. Again, early hits in the third. Josh Morrissey scored a minute into the third period. And it looked like the Jets, pulled away and were going to, just win in the third period. But, the Washington Capitals would not go away. They would not be dismayed. Tom Wilson scored to make it 4-3. And then, who else? The grade 8, Alexander Ovechkin, scored his 24th goal of the year. I believe he's 17 goals now away from tying Gretzky's record, 18 to break it. Made it 4-4 with about 8 minutes left. Went to overtime. Some back and forth chances in the overtime until Josh Morrissey finished a nice feed from Mark Scheifele 2 minutes into overtime, and the Jets 6 wins in a row now. 6 wins in a row. 5-4 win over the Caps. A great win. Connor Hellebuyck, I'd say a below average night for Connor Hellebuyck. 25 saves. The Ovi goal, I'm sure he'll want back. Lucas Trapp in the chat. Hey Lucas, how's it going? Lucas says big win. Would have been nice to end in regulation though. Yeah, that's kind of what I was saying. Especially when they got the goal to go up 4-2. It seemed like the Jets were going to kind of pull away in the third, but to Washington's credit, they fought back and kind of capitalized on their chances. Kind of tonight's game felt like kind of a tale of two different games. Obviously the Jets really came out hard. They came out strong. The Jets looked incredible. Through the first half of the game, I would say. Especially in that first period, we were all over the Capitals. Perfetti scored, Sandberg scored, but I thought we also had some other chances. That's that second line, Perfetti, Nemesnikov, Ehlers were kind of really flying around. In the first half of the game, it was impressive. And I think it's hard to maintain, I guess, that pace of play and kind of that dominance over a team like Washington, who's also very, very good for a full 60-minute game. I felt even when they got the 2-1, I thought Washington maybe turned the tides a little bit. After the 3-2 goal to make it 3-2 Jets. I thought that the pendulum, you could say, kind of shifted in Washington's favor. I saw they were kind of carrying the play a little bit more after that. Then I was kind of curious to see what the third period would look like. But then, 1 minute in, the Jets kind of get a goal from Morrissey and say, okay, 4-2, it's over now. But then the game flipped, again right to Washington, and Washington played a very strong third period, scoring twice, and it really looked like they could have almost won the game in regulation. I was kind of, in that last 5 minutes, I was like, okay, let's just get to overtime, get a point, and then we'll reevaluate, in the skill competition that is, overtime. But Washington was really the better team for the second half of the game, I would say. Jets were certainly better in the first half. So yeah, it was some good things to like from both from both teams. Definitely a lot of positives to take out of it. The Jets obviously winning six wins in a row now is impressive in itself. They keep cushioning that lead in the division, in the conference. When you talk about playoff seeding, the Jets would really like to avoid finishing 2-3 in the Central. Because it hasn't really been their friend as of late. The Jets would really like to win the whole conference, and then they get that that 8th seed, whether that's Calgary or Vancouver, which really feels like kind of a softball matchup compared to if you had to play Vegas or Colorado or Dallas in the first round. Because there's definitely some heavy hitters in the Western Conference. So yeah, another big step in that direction tonight. Kind of as I said on the outset of the show, Connor Hellebuck, got the win, another win for him. Both goalies, I would say, were, not their best tonight, but at the same time, the game really opened up, in that second period where chances were kind of going back and forth. The defense it was kind of hard to contain, both teams from getting chances. At times, I think if you ask Connor Hellebuck, I think that he would really want, that Ovechkin goal back. It didn't look like he was screened. It wasn't tipped. I know it's Ovechkin. I know he's got I think it was an 88.8 mile an hour shot. But that's a shot that he definitely, the best goalie in the world needs to stop. And if he does, the Jets, probably win in regulation, or at least, they force Washington to do something special, in the later stages of that third period. So, overall, as we said, another big 2 points, for our Winnipeg Jets. I'm just gonna look at this. Jets don't play now till Tuesday. By the way, they get 2 days off. And then they're back home for Tuesday night against Mikko Rantanen and the Carolina Hurricanes. That should be a fun one on Tuesday night. But looking at the standings, let's see. Yeah, Jets are now 2 points up on Washington for first in the league. They're 10 points up on Dallas for the division lead. Dallas does have 3 games in hand, but a 10-point advantage. At this point of the season, it's I would say it's pretty hard to overcome. Unless one team goes on a very, very very big slide, and the other team goes on a crazy run. So. The Jets are 37-14-3 on the season now. It's nice. It's a nice feeling. 20 points above the 8th seed Calgary. Yeah, this has been a very, very good season for the the Winnipeg Jets. So we're not going to take any wins for granted, no doubt. So let's, I guess, hop on over now to the second period, do another ad read. As I've said, I'm not very, very sad. I'm not feeling good. I'm very not, say I'm under the weather. My throat, every time I try to swallow, I've been trying to gargle salt water, been taking Halls, been eating marshmallows. I've heard that gelatin's good for sore throats, so I've been just gobbling up marshmallows today. You probably don't want to hear about all that, but it's just a remedy. So next ad read is for LaRouche. Game Over Network is an independent production focused on community, inclusion, and quality people. So if you're interested in supporting the Game Over Network, we have crowdfunding options available to you. In the description of this episode, you'll find a link to our Patreon page, and we're also working on a page through LaRouche, which is a crowdfunding platform for companies originating in Quebec. For LaRouche, we're aiming to raise $15,000, and if we hit that goal, we'll gain access to government grants that will allow us to employ more people. So if you have any ideas for what you'd like to see as giveaways from these crowdfunding efforts, please let us know in the comments on Twitter, Instagram, our Discord server, or the Blue Sky app, which is kind of like the new Twitter that a lot of our kind of Game Over hosts and a lot of sports media have kind of migrated over to. It's great. I'm on there talking about the Jets a lot, picking fights with other Canadian teams' fan bases, at Montreal Canadiens fans. Yeah, check it out. If you're watching the show also, please write a comment or a question. It's really fun. I would say it's fun talking to myself, but I'm always happy to engage with anyone that wants to chat hockey or the Jets. I'll grab a quick little thing for this next segment, I guess. Okay, I'm going to talk a little bit, I guess, about the Washington Capitals. It's funny enough. The Washington Capitals were actually when I first got into hockey. In 1997, 1998, I would have been like 4 or 5 years old. The Jets were gone. The Jets left in '96 when I was only about 2.5 years old. So, the Washington Capitals kind of became my first. Caps were my first team. If I pull out a copy of one of my books, because I'm a hockey author of hockey history books, it says on the back of my bio, it says that Ty Dilello has been a hockey fan since Peter Bondra led the Washington Capitals to the Stanley Cup Finals in 1998. And that is true. I was a really big Peter Bondra fan. He was the top goals. He was kind of the Ovechkin on the Caps in the 90s. He was a very, very talented goal scorer. And I kind of really got into hockey, I would say, like during that 1998 Cup run that the Capitals went on. I remember not vividly, but like those are some of my earliest hockey memories. Would be watching games from that Capitals playoff run. And they ended up getting, like I said, they beat Dominic Hasek and the Sabres in 6 games in the conference finals, but then they were swept by Detroit in the '98 Cup final. So, like I said, I was a big Capitals fan, big Peter Bondra fan. Grew up collecting a lot of his hockey cards. I have a jersey, and I got this. This is one of Bondra's, game-used hockey sticks with the Capitals. It was the stick that he scored his 50th goal for the first time in the season. I think it would have been 95-96 with the Caps. This was the stick he used on the night that he scored. I think he finished with 52 on the year, but this was the night where he scored 50. It's got the number 12. You can tell it's definitely a lot of wear on it. Careful. It's got his autograph there, Peter Bondra, number 12. Just name bar, Bondra, 12. Yeah, it's a priceless keepsake for me. Having a game-used stick, from your favorite player growing up. It's something that I cherish for sure. I like to collect, some hockey memorabilia. So if you're out there, I thought maybe an interesting tale besides talking about the hockey game. And now the Caps, very good hockey team. Today, obviously they've been good a lot in the 2000s and 2010s. They got close a couple times. It was awesome. It was, great for hockey to see Ovechkin, win that Stanley Cup in 2018. Although I'll say it came at the cost of, the Winnipeg Jets winning a Stanley Cup, as, I think most people would agree that the Jets, had the best team, in the NHL in that 2018 season. and then faltered against Vegas in 5 games in the conference final. But yeah, it's kind of a what if for Jets fans, but really good for hockey to see Ovechkin get that cup. Wonder how long Ovechkin's going to want to keep playing now. I thought there would be talks maybe of him just retiring, the season after he gets his, breaks the record, but it appears that like a little window is opening up for the, the Washington Capitals. They're a very good deep team. They got some good prospects coming off the pipeline. Like, this is a team that's, not just going to be good this year, but it's going to be good, for the next 3 to 5 years, I would say at least. So maybe Ovechkin wants to stick around for a little bit in his 40s. He's very, obviously very hockey driven. It's gonna be hard for him to retire one day, and he's still playing like a first line player. He's got, he's top 15 in goals still in the NHL, and he was, injured for 2 months. It's very impressive. And as I said, the Caps are a deep team. That. You got Ovechkin, Strome, Tom Wilson, Pierre-Luc Dubois look fantastic in Washington. You got him locked up for another 6 years after this. You're getting the emergence of young stars like Strome, as I said, but been really impressed with the Belarusian Alexei Protas. He's a dynamic 6'6" player who has a ton of points, a ton of goals for not playing any power play time, which is very impressive. They got guys like Connor McMichael, Taylor Radish. Their back end strong. John Carlson, Chikrin, Martin Fehervary, Matt Roy, Sandin. And then kind of the two-headed monster. And not two-headed, but they got a very good tandem. Logan Thompson's obviously having an incredible season. He'll be second to Hellbuck in the Vezina voting. I have no doubt about that. And then a very capable, backup 1B in Charlie Lindgren. And you got a ton of kind of elite prospects, in the, that are going to be coming to the lineup sooner than later. Ryan Leonard, Andrew Cristall, Ivan Miroshchenko. I even like that Eric Smiteko, the Latvian sniper from the World Juniors. He's a Washington Capitals prospect. And Ilya Protas, Alexei Protas has a brother who's just who looks pretty skilled too. So yeah, Washington, this looks like a team that's definitely has the potential to be good for a while. So I think hockey would like to see Ovechkin stick around. I'm not saying he's going to get to 1,000 goals or anything like that, but he's definitely going to surpass 900 regular season goals. 920 is not out of the question. He's going to keep raising that plateau. He's definitely going to play next season. Hopefully he plays another year after that. Because the game's really going to miss him when he's gone. It's really going to miss Crosby too in Pittsburgh when they're gone. So we really got to enjoy these players still while we have them. Because they did a lot for hockey. Since they came in the league in 2005, it was a whole new era started. After the lockout, when those players joined the league, it made the league a lot more fun to watch. There's a lot of different storylines, and yeah, just enjoy while it's here, because don't know how long we got of them left. If you're in the chat, Lucas, or anybody else, feel free to chime in with a comment or a question. Show off the Bonzer stick one more time. Caps legend, sniper. Yeah, they got to retire his number or do something. He's a 500 goal scorer in the league. He's been close to being inducted to the Hall of Fame, I'd say. I'd like to see the Capitals, do right by retiring his number 12 at some point. And with that, we'll go to the third period. Do another ad read for Game On. Game On Winnipeg, which we don't have. So Game Over, what you're watching right now, has you covered after the game. But in order to get ready to watch the Jets, you've got to get your Game On too. So Game On Winnipeg is a short form. One second. Remember, I'm sick. Game On Winnipeg is a short form daily news podcast covering everything you need to know about the Winnipeg Jets. Debuting soon, next season probably, I don't know. Playoff time? That'd be cool. Whenever it debuts, you'll get all your Jets news in under 10 minutes, Monday through Friday, on the Game Over Winnipeg YouTube channel and podcast form, which you can find at thegameovernetwork.com/pages/Winnipeg. Sorry. I think Game On's going to be good once it gets going. Some people like to get their hockey news by reading articles, reading tweets, listening to podcasts, watching video. So it's just kind of another medium for watching or for like getting in your hockey content. So yeah, once it gets going, check it out. It'll be good for you, good for us. Get us those clicks. Obviously, if you're watching this, like and subscribe, do all that stuff. It's good for the algorithm. That's what I've been told. Next segment. Did you guys see Logan Stanley get kind of plowed in the first period? I think we kind of understand. I don't want to talk about Logan Stanley again for a segment, but like, why is he playing, guys? Like, why is he in the lineup? I know Scott O'Neill had talked about some kind of rotation with Billy and Logan. That stopped. Logan's just like the guy he's been in these last how many games, and we've been winning. So maybe don't take him out, but like, we ain't winning because of Logan Stanley in the lineup. Like, we have not been winning the games because of him. I bet you my bottom dollar on that. Adam Lowry is out of the lineup for a while. The Jets don't really have, a fighter, like a tough guy, aside from, I guess that's kind of, the role Stanley has. I would argue that, Logan Stanley is not a tough guy, that he's kind of he's very soft, like a 6'7" player. He doesn't really stay on his feet much. I don't know. I'm really struggling to see why he's why he was in the lineup again. We want to see Billy get in there. Hell, I'd even see Hayden Fleury back in the lineup. I'm very curious to see what the Jets do. Come trade deadline time. I think we definitely need to pick up another defenseman or two. Give us some more depth. Obviously, another forward, top 6, top 9 forward would be great. But the Jets are also kind of holding their own without the captain Lowry, which is good to see. Obviously Lowry is the heart and soul of the team, and probably still a big part of the dressing room. It's a big part of the the team, even with the injury. But it's going well. It's kind of it felt like the Dylan Sandberg injury was the most detrimental injury to the Jets this season. You saw how their play kind of dropped once Dylan Sandberg was out. It really shows how important, how integral, how vital his minutes are. While Lowry, we've kind of been able to stay above water and win hockey games without him. So it's impressive to see. I thought Parker Ford, he got his second game tonight. He didn't really do a whole lot. Obviously it was amazing for him to get that goal. Last game in Boston. Again, as I said last show, I really want to reiterate the need to get Brad Lambert in the lineup. He's been called up now for the last at least 4 games. He's been a healthy scratch with the Jets. He's your best prospect. No offense to Parker Ford, but Brad Lambert is a player that's hopefully going to be a Winnipeg Jet for a long time. And you don't want this player getting upset or getting cold or whatnot. Just play him. I know you're trying to win hockey games, but like, put Brad Lambert in the lineup over David Gustafsson, over whoever. Play Brad Lambert next game against Carolina. Okay, please do that. I want to see Lambert get that first NHL goal. I want to see him get his first point this season. We want to see what we have in him. See how he's developing. He went down to the Moose after that call up. Performed kind of admirably, I'd say. The Moose have been god-awful this season, barely scoring any goals. Lambert's been around the teams, leading points. Despite that, his two-way game's been impressive. I think the Moose coaches were raving about. So, yeah, we just want to see, let's see Brad Lambert in the lineup on Tuesday over Parker Ford or Gustafson at the very, very least. You can't just be healthy scratching. Send them back down to the Moose. Call up, whoever. Just, play your top prospects when you call them up. Don't just scratch them, I'd say. Lucas Trapp, thank you for commenting, Lucas, because you're the only one tonight, so it's very much appreciated. Lucas also says, I want to see a banner raised. Absolutely, that's kind of what I've been preaching these last few shows. The Jets have yet to raise a banner, since the Jets have been back, since the NHL, since they joined the NHL in 1979. I don't think they never won a division, division title, a conference title. So the Jets, have the chance to do something special. Obviously, the playoffs are most important, but to win a division title would be huge. Then also to win a conference or a President's Trophy, that'd be a massive accomplishment for this organization. Winnipeg is one of the smallest markets in the 4 major professional sports in North America. The deck's very stacked against the Winnipeg organization in terms of free agents, players not really wanting to play here, the players having way too much say, in where they play currently in the NHL today. With the salary cap, skyrocketing next year and for the next 3 years, those things aren't good for, small markets, like Winnipeg. So, the fact that the Winnipeg Jets are the #1 team in hockey this regular season, it's, feels great. And let's hope we can, like Lucas said, let's hope we raise a banner. Hopefully raise a couple, and let's hope we go on a deep playoff run. Because that'd be quite something. Go to overtime. I'll put the merch on the screen. We're almost done, guys. I'm just trying to get through this. I hope to wake up feeling better tomorrow. I've been saying that for the last 3 days. This sore throat's really got to F off because it's quite a drag. Yeah, what better way to support something you love than by rocking it as clothing? You'll see the merch on the screen. Game Over's apparel line has dropped with 3 unique designs. Whether you feel the nostalgic pull of our retro skater design, want to make a statement with our established design, which is currently on sale, want to wear your love for goalies proudly with our Live and Die by the Goalie design, or if you just need another coffee to get you through the winter, we have you covered. Designed by our own Brady Chalice from Game Over Winnipeg, even though he's kind of a bit of a traitor to us. Use the QR code on the screen now and take a look through our apparel store and help us rebuild local sports media in Canada while repping your community. Whew. Alright, we got through that ad read. Let's go. This is now the overtime section where I answer any questions. Put that howdy. I'll leave it up for just a couple seconds here. If anyone's got any questions or comments, this is the time to ask. So if you're out there, give me a shout. I will say that we will be back here on Tuesday night, following a 7 p.m. home game for the Jets against the Carolina Hurricanes. Should be fun. Nico Rantanen, Sebastian Aho, Andrei Svechnikov. Carolina is a team I've always liked. They're very fun to watch. I like the European talent they have. Should be a good game. And I will be back for that one as well. So you can join myself about 5 minutes after the game ends here on the Winnipeg Game Over YouTube channel. We hope to see you there. So if there's nothing else, Lucas, last call. But yeah, I guess we'll sign off now. Thanks everybody, or if you're watching or not, thanks for bearing with me tonight. I hope to feel better tomorrow. Like I said, I've been in bed the last 4 days, so even getting out of bed to do the show was work. So I'm gonna go back and lie in bed now and watch some of the late game. Take care, everybody, and we'll see you Tuesday night. Yeah. Take care. Peace.